You're the dumbest bitch and with the biggest heart. I love, love, love that.
You want to know what topic never gets old? Dealing with people who are emotionally unavailable. And this is common dealing with a narcissistic personality, which is the modern day men. This woman shares her story, and we're going to give our commentary on it.
Have asked me what are some of the narcissistic things he does are. And this is one I can think of. When we used to go grocery shopping together as a family, every single time he would do this. We'd get all the groceries we needed, fill up the cart full of groceries, and he would get mad about something. Didn't make sense. And he would just walk away. Not tell me, not say he's leaving. He would just walk away. And take the keys, take the money, and just leave. And it was a form of a tantrum for him to do in public, so he didn't look like he was really doing anything. So what I would do was put all the cold stuff back in the freezer area, keep the dry stuff out in the cart, take the kids, go to the van, figure out what was wrong with him, kind of get him happy, and then convince him to come back inside and pay for the groceries we got. Eventually, after talking him it's okay, everything's fine, he would come back, we'd get the groceries, and we'd do it. But anyway, so yeah, that's something he would always do. Every single time we would go grocery shopping as a family, he would wait till the cart was full, and it never made sense to me. And then I was like, okay, it's to cause me stress. It's to and then leave me with both the boys that are already fighting in the store, put the groceries back, and then come comfort him. So, I mean, that's just what narcissists do. They want to stress the person they're out with and just make them sad, angry, stressed. They just want to beat that person down in any single way they can. And it doesn't make sense to us normal people. We're like why can't you just tell me, or just go to the van if you're upset about something and leave me with the money so I can buy the groceries. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to the normal person.
Sounds like her husband was the textbook version of a narcissist, completely self absorbed, and this is a demonic force working in these men. Let's stop excusing it as a personality disorder. This is possessed by the devil. And these people, she's right, they cause you stress, they cause you pain, anxiety. You do not have to raise a full grown man. When modern women are dealing with modern men, we have to take on raising them as an extra child. And that's more of a burden than it is a benefit. So women are doing movements like B4 where they refuse to do the 4 Bs, which means no. No in Korea. No to marriage, no to children, no to relationships, no to everything. A narcissist did the same thing to me. I was at the grocery store and I bought a bowl of chili. I asked him for help, and when he grabbed it, he had one hand holding a cell phone, so the other hand made the chili spill. It spilled all over the checkout counter, and he walks out of the grocery store. He leaves me hanging with this spilled chili all over the place. And he was the one who caused the mess. All the men behind me were so chivalrous. They handed me napkins. They were even upset, like they wanted to fight him. But that's the mind of a narcissistic, toxic friend. They want to cause uncomfortable situations and then they abandon you.
I honestly cannot believe there was a time where I genuinely believed that men were more logical than women. I just used to think that men operated more from a logical standpoint than just going off of just their emotions. Now I'm starting to look at it a little different. I'm starting to think that men don't operate from an emotional place because they don't be given a and they're selfish. Of course, you're going to be head over heart and not operate from an emotional place when you don't give a fuck about anybody but yourself. I'm not even saying that being selfish sometimes is always a bad thing. I think some people need to learn how to be more selfish because there's a lot of people pleasers out there, and there's a lot of people that give way more love and pour into other people way more than they give and pour into themselves. Not all, but I feel like most men are emotionally unavailable, and most men are not in touch with their feminine side. they don't really even understand their own emotions to understand someone else's. And while it can be a strong point, it can also be a weakness, because having emotional intelligence is important. Having control over your emotions and being able to manage your own emotions allow you to understand other people. And when you have control over yourself, you can actually control other people and outcomes. That's a topic for another day. But, women who are able to manage their emotions, they're able to, have relationship management. They're able to put themselves in other people's shoes, and they're able to, like I said, control other people with their emotions. Emotional intelligence is actually powerful.
When I attracted avoidant men, that meant I was doing too much. I was going to them. They sense my doing energy, and they're like, yeah, I want that girl because I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to do anything. I was so anxious. I wanted a guy and I couldn't just stop and relax and let a person come to me. I have complete awareness of this part of me. We have this framework in Bloom called the self-organization model. It's looking at yourself as like an organization, and your C-suite, your chief operating officer, that's your awareness. And then your higher self or your spirit's above that. And you use your awareness to always notice when your parts are coming up, trying to drive the car. I notice now that when that little young girl part that's very anxious and wants to be chosen and wants to be loved, I have to notice when she shows up so I can stop, calm myself, and kind of just like reassure myself. You don't have to text him. You don't have to call him. Wait till he calls you. You don't have to like keep on checking in. You don't have to ask him on a date. If he's not asking you on a date, he doesn't want to see you. Guys don't play hard to get. I promise you, if a man isn't interested, it's because he's not interested. I've had to learn the hard way. So I had to see that it was my always going to them that made them never have to come to me. And that would make me feel like crap. I never felt chosen. Guys never do anything that they don't have to. It's human nature. Nobody does. If we don't have to, we ain't gonna do it, ever. It's really about asking yourself where you're portraying that same quality, because we always attract the same.
I realize a lot of women date emotionally unavailable men. That way they can point the finger, because they're not emotionally available either, and you don't have to do the labor of finding out what's going on with you when you date a man that's worse off than you.
He has a point on a subconscious level, but in many cases, these toxic, emotionally unavailable men know they have nothing to offer, so they have to put up a facade. They have to fake it until they make it. And so they'll fake it for months, even years, before you find out their true unavailability. And by then, you're hooked.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're used to being the one that can't be caught. You're used to being aloof. You're used to not being so when you get with a man who got more red flags than you, it's easier to point at him and say he's the problem, and you walk off and don't do no more work. And then you meet a nigga who actually is emotionally intelligent. You meet a dude that actually does communicate in real time when something is wrong. You meet a dude that actually does have boundaries, and now you look funny in the light. And I'm just saying, I don't know y'all personally. I'm only speaking from my experience.
The bigger the chase, the bigger the reward. False. Stop chasing emotionally unavailable men. I'm coming for your throat. He takes hours to respond. Turn off. Not a green light for you to pursue him further. He cancels on plans more than he shows up to them. Turn off. Not a green light for you to pursue him further. He tells you he's not looking for anything serious. Turn off. Not a green light for you to try to be the woman to change his mind. And let me just say, chasing doesn't just include physically texting them or making plans first. Posting thirst traps to get their attention is a form of chasing. Like, girl, you think he suffers from amnesia? You think he's playing Dory from Finding Nemo? You think he doesn't know what you look like? It's not about the looks. Emotionally unavailable men can be with the baddest girl ever. Still emotionally unavailable. Besides, stop objectifying yourself. You don't want a guy who chases you just because you're a pretty face. Your personality is where the real meal is at, babe. So let me just remind you that you are that girl, okay? There's literally men out there bragging about the fact that they have dated you, that they have gone on dates with you. And here you are chasing a little boy. Please, I want you to nurture and learn how to be a woman that receives, because she doesn't chase. Because chasing is masculine, and as women, that's not in our nature. So stop feeding that side and let it die. Receiving looks like accepting compliments, accepting help when it's offered, letting go of control, being open. Tap into that feminine side, nurture it, and you're gonna notice you're gonna start to get an ick for men that are emotionally unavailable. You're gonna be like, ew, this is gross. I don't wanna touch you. I don't wanna deal with you. Goodbye. You're like a Birkin bag, okay, babe? Everybody wants you, so get in line.
My recent experience with an emotionally unavailable man was really intense because he had an avoidant attachment style. And so he would come home and not say a single word. In fact, he could go months without saying anything or ever initiating anything. But what I said was, by then you're already hooked. Whether you got kids or you got a commitment or you guys are sharing a place, by then you're already caught up. And so now you just have to sit and observe what is wrong with this person.
If you are somebody that constantly is attracting unavailable partners, or guys that always end up ghosting you, or you always just end up hurt in relationships, this video is for you. Something that I wish I would have learned sooner when it came to healing my mindset around love and relationships and the law of attraction with love specifically is you have to learn how to make love feel safe within your body, or else you will avoid it at all costs. Let me explain. Whenever you've been in toxic relationships that feel very volatile and inconsistent and up and down, your body and subconscious mind becomes used to that type of behavior. So you subconsciously keep attracting those types of partners because you subconsciously believe that that's normal. And this is often why if you go on a date with a nice guy, you're like, the spark isn't there. He just seems boring. That's because oftentimes we mistake the spark or that excitement with that inconsistent behavior, or somebody who portrays early signs of toxic behavior, which I can go into in a whole other video of how to spot those tiny things, because I feel like we often ignore them whenever we are used to those really toxic relationships, or we tend to attract those bad boys that just make us be super addicted and obsessed, and we have no idea why. It's because we haven't learned how to properly create safety and love within our own body and our nervous system, which is why I talk about nervous system regulation and taking care of your health and body, because all of that needs to be aligned for you to actually manifest true aligned love that feels safe. And until you learn how to do that alone within yourself, you will oftentimes keep finding yourself in the same exact relationship with a new person.
The bar is so low for me that I trip over it. And then when I trip over it, I fall for emotionally unavailable men.
I don't know this woman's story 100%, but what I do know is she's looking for a soulmate, but she can't find it because she's in Kentucky. Now, watch this second clip where she's paraplegic, but she's taking care of her newborn baby. What kind of man leaves a woman hanging like this? Now, I know she said that she's a single mom, okay, because she wouldn't be saying she's looking for a soulmate after she just had a newborn baby. This is crazy. Even the women in wheelchairs can't even get a man to be emotionally available. I mean, what kind of father approves of this? Look at how much extra labor she has to do. Again, I don't know the story, but she's a single mom, and this kid comes to pick up the slack of this grown dang man. This is why we do these videos, so that women can come together and share their common experiences with toxic people. The burden falls on the next generation when these toxic moms and toxic dads don't raise their sons and daughters to be emotionally available people. See, they stuck around when the going was good while he was busting his nuts, but as soon as the baby came, pew, he's gone. Now women are raising the next generation all alone, and we got to be careful not to repeat the same generational cycles. We got to raise our sons just like we raise our daughters, with discipline, emotional accountability, and emotional intelligence. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll talk to you in the next one.